The way the veteran teams are being ousted from the playoffs, it almost seems like 30 is the new 40 in the NBA. First the Spurs and then the Lakers. What about the Celtics?
It's bingo time for them if they don't turn up the heat. Elimination game in Miami. Heat up 3-1 in the series. Shaq out, leg injury. Rajon Rondo, elbow injury. He's got a back problem. No problem for the C's. They were up 8 after 1. We go second quarter. Rondo catches, spins, and finishes with one hand. Still in the second. Rondo playing with a dislocated elbow. Collides with James Jones. Looks like a slimmer brace than he wore before. He's just unable to be the offensive threat he normally was. The pick and roll was extinct. Dwayne Wade, he was an offensive threat. He had 11 in the first quarter. He had 23 by the half. 9 of 12 from the field, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. Still, it was Boston by 2. It was Wade who talked about guarding Ray Allen's like being on a weight loss program. All the chasing you do doesn't catch him there. Allen catches the 4-point play. Celtics up 6. Still in the third quarter. Wade gonna split the defense and finish with the slam. Glenn Davis, I'll just watch, thank you. Wade 30 points through 3. Boston still up 2. Fourth quarter. Celtics not built for speed, but are they built to last? Because this may be their last chance to prove it this postseason. Allen, the steal from Wade. Transition, Delonte West. Oh, he just Facebooked Chris Bosh.
Friend request denied.
Yeah. Celtics bench 33 points, and Boston looks good. They're up 5. They've taken the crowd out of it a little bit. Then LeBron James, he got it going just a little bit. James Jones first. This was under 4 minutes to play. Reggie Miller, who called the game, called this at the time it happened the pivotal game changer, and he couldn't have been more correct. It was a 2-point game. Then Bosh on Garnett, 2-hand slam. This game's tied. Garnett 12 points in the first quarter, just 15 for the game. Here comes LeBron James. Oh, it was Wade who put his foot on the gas. James just put his foot through the floor with under 3 minutes to go. James, he was 5 of 7 from 3. Celtics call a timeout there, and the Heat are fired up. Then the Celtics ball, just over a minute to play. Still a ball game down 3, and Paul Pierce and Jeff Green aren't on the same page, and Doc says not now. 17 turnovers for the Boston Celtics. Ensuing Heat possession. Shot clock winding down again. James on Pierce again. Oh, it was 1 year ago Wednesday that James played his last home game as a Cavalier. 32-point loss to the Celtics. You don't think he was thinking about that? Heat up 6 with 40 seconds to go, and then James. Oh. Finish your breakfast, son. Oh. Steps in front. Takes it all the way the other way. James, 33 points. He scored the last 10 points. Miami, a 16-0 run to end the game. Heat, 97-87. James, overcome with emotion, said afterwards he was thinking about everything. The decision, the backlash, everything. Celtics won the first 3 between these two teams. Miami wins 5 of the last 6. James, 33. Wade, 34. The Heat await the winner of the Chicago-Atlanta series. Game 6 Thursday, Bulls up 3-2. That series could begin as early as Sunday. The Heat missed just 2 of 8 shots in the final 4:28 during that 16-0 run. They were perfect from beyond the arc. That's 8 down and 8 to go for a Miami team that again afterwards said the Heat just trying to follow in the Celtics' footsteps.
Part of the reason why we all joined forces because of the blueprint that they laid a few years ago. Putting multiple threats out on the court at the same time and understanding how huge that is for a team to have to cover.
It was a tremendous grind. I thought the other night was a grind. I think this was even more of a grind.
My teammates could tell I wanted it. I wanted this game. And LeBron looked at me and said, I got your back. He had my back in a big way.
Those two guys are monsters. And when they're making shots, it makes it very difficult.
Competing for a championship is extremely hard, and I think we knew that coming into this situation. It's just all about trying to sustain the pace right now and continuing to play to win.
I think everything that we've went through the regular season has helped us in the postseason thus far, and it's not a situation we haven't seen. I love my teammates back in Cleveland as much as I loved home. I knew I couldn't do it by myself against that team, and I knew that was the team that I wanted to get over the hump against.
Miami round machine outdoing the Boston 3-party. James, Wade, and Bosch outscoring Pierce, Allen, and Garnett by nearly 21 per game in this series. And in the last two, the Heatles combined for 164 points. Boston's big three scores 96. Tim Legler says on LeBron's iPod right now, the sounds of silence.
Well, there's no question that LeBron James, at least for the time being, has silenced some of his critics, but he's only halfway to his goal. 8 wins down, 8 more to go, and each round of the playoffs is going to get more difficult, and the pressure is going to continue to mount. LeBron James is not going to be satisfied until he gets a title, but at least right now, having beaten the Boston Celtics, that's one thing less on his resume that he has to prove to anybody. And the way he handled pressure down the stretch in this series, to me, a defining moment right now in his career. He hit some of the biggest shots of his entire career in this series in the last 2 games. It's got to give him a lot of confidence moving forward that the Miami Heat can actually go on and accomplish their goal of winning a championship.
Much more on the Heat eliminating the Celtics. What this means for LeBron James. The win, and he scores the final 10 points of the ballgame.